how to focus on your priorities. In this video, I go through an email from somebody who's got too many priorities, or at least he thinks it's all priorities. And I think we all struggle with that. And I respond in a way that will really put together what next steps we should all be taking. Roll it. Alright guys, so I had a great email come in from somebody that really puts together everything of what we talked about yesterday. They watched the video, they were wondering what about me and how does this align with me? And of course, it's a struggle that I find with a lot of people, so it's a great example that should relate to a lot of people. See, I'm finding that many cases, the priorities that we set are there, but we can't focus on them because there's too many, and this is a great case of this person. Here we go. Hi Nikos, I watched your video and I'm confused with my priorities. Good spot to be. How do I focus on my priorities when there's just so many things to do? So in yesterday's video, I established that we have so many things to be doing, but they're not all priorities. What we need to set is real priorities. What are the 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 top things that you need to make priorities? And of course, this is set up between what you're trying to achieve and your life passion, your mission and purpose, and on the other side, it's your family, the people inside of your life that need to be prioritized. When we're younger, it's usually, your family, like your parents and your siblings, but it's usually friends and your personal wants and needs of going out and experiencing life. As we get older though, it turns into family and your kids and your wife, or maybe in this case your ex-wife and what she needs to make sure that your kids have everything they need. I am struggling between work, my new startup, my ex-wife and kids. There's not enough time in the day for everything, and I just don't get how I can prioritize things. The startup isn't making money. My work is overwhelming me. I want to spend more time with my kids, but I am always in the grind. Right there, we're going back to that theme. I'm not sure how your setup is with the divorce and the kids. I'm not sure what your living accommodations are, how far away you are, how close you are. I'm not sure how old they are. But in any case, every divorce, it goes through a sequential set of steps that we all are aware of. That's kind of a norm. And in that norm, you're really setting up a timeline where you have that shared custody. If they're very, very young, you're going to be set up with specific times that you're going to be sharing the responsibility, sharing the time with them. As they get older, the kids are going to want you to participate more in their lives with different things. Like if they're in sports, they're going to want to see their parent there. In any case, we're setting time down for those things. So when you know you have these priorities with your family, then you're gonna put blocks in there where you know you're not going to be doing any work. You're going to be setting it up kind of like a job when you're going to your work. I bet you're not so stressed out when you go to work every day thinking about how many things you got to do after as much as you are when you're with your kids. When you're with your kids and you're setting that block time and you're kind of like all over the place, it's feeling not like that work time. It's feeling more like I have so many things to do, and here I am. Now, I'm not saying this in a bad way. We just do this because in our mental state, when we have all these things to do and we're not prioritized, spending time that is away from our passion feels like wasted time no matter what we're doing. It's just in some cases it feels more like a waste of time than others. Why am I starting off with your family priorities? Well, you're going through this process where you might be feeling guilt trip. The guilt trip is that you want to spend more time and you feel that you have to spend more time than the time allotted. As long as you're there and you're positive and you're attentive at that moment and you know that you're spending that time with them and not thinking about other things, that time is priceless to a kid. Your kid isn't going to judge you because you're spending way too much time with everything else than them. The kid's going to judge you on the experience and the moments that you're spending with them. So when you have them on the weekend and you know you have them for 3 days from the Friday to the Sunday, or you have them during the week for like 3 days, or you're splitting between weeks because you're living very close, you are making sure that they feel they're the priority. And once they feel they're the priority, you'll feel better for yourself. You'll see that smile. They'll be saying, I love you. Thank you for everything. I can't wait to see you next time. And that time space apart is now your time to get going on smashing those goals and getting moving in the right direction. Your work is going to come as a priority for now because you got to be there. And when you're there, you want to just be able to get everything done in a positive manner where you look at it from this perspective. You're there temporarily while your startup gets moving. Your startup needs more time to grow for whatever reason. I don't have the specifics on it, but it needs more time. You're biding time in essence by being at work and having that income so you can pay for all the bills. If your work is too much for you and you need to change it up a little bit, I encourage change. I always do. Start looking for something that will give you the ability to have more flexibility in your time such that you can start focusing on your startup. We've all done it. It's nothing like that you can't do. It's just a matter of saying, I'm going to put away that risk factor in my head that I can't lose my job. I'm going to look for something that will allow me to bring in that income I need such that I can focus on my startup and I can focus on my kids. Your startup will take time to grow depending on what you're doing. My priority is always with any startup to see residual income. Whenever I haven't done that, the startup has taken too long. On top of that, I've wasted too much money and I've struggled through this mentality that it's not going to make it. If you have a startup that doesn't have any residual, then I implore you, look up different ways, other things people are doing with similar startups, and understand how the market you're in works such that you can start bringing in this income on a residual basis. When I started my web company, it was hard because I couldn't get websites as much as I thought I would. But then the hosting kicked in and I was able to have residual keep coming in. And because of that residual, it's always there. I can always bounce back to it if I ever need that cash flow for anything I'm trying to do within that business. So if I want to release a new product, well, hey, I can release it because I know that I can slow down on trying to get more websites and I can focus on that new product since I have residual coming in. That being said, as you grow, that residual is that cash flow, it's that lifeline. And once you establish this and you start making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month coming in, now you can make decisions on working part-time at your job or saying, hey, I don't need any more money. I'm going to go just full-time on my startup because I know I have people locked in and I'm slowly growing that. The ideal is that you're trying to bring in enough money such that you can reinvest at least 30 to 40% of it back into the business. People always fail to understand the mentality that we have to work around success. Success is a buildup. Don't sit there and ask yourself the whys and the hows and all these different things of the failure mentality you're having. Instead, focus on the priorities that you've set for your business, on this startup. My main goal in this video would be to explain these three key things. Your first thing is your priorities are not everything. And when we're looking at all the things that you have going in your life, yes, it's a lot, and everybody who's going through a similar situation as you is going through all this stuff. Yet some people will grow and get out of it and have this happy, awesome life they were envisioning, and others will struggle through until one day they give up and just focus on work and live the white picket fence life. The idea here is that you have your family priorities. You're going to set the timelines for that. You're going to make sure you focus on making your kids a priority during that time. You're going to look at your job as the opportunity to bring you that cash flow to grow your startup, and you're going to go in there knowing that through the day you'll have your list there of the things you need to complete when you get home. On your startup, you're going to focus on the things that you need to do to find the quickest way to bring income in. Your income is priority. So look at everything you've done with your business so far. Ask yourself, what priorities do you need to set in place to bring in some residual income? It might not be in line 100% with the main package offering you have. It may be something else, but at the same time, we're setting these priorities that will help you get away from that work in the morning during or the 9 to 5, maybe turn it into a part-time or go get a part-time job somewhere else so that you can have more time and eventually keep growing the amount of time that you need in order to have your startup work. Remember, not everything in your startup is a priority. What you have to achieve are certain goals that need to be done within the next month to 2 months. Make it a priority of the things you need to do to achieve that goal. So if you need to pump out more social media ads, or you need to make more videos, or you need to do more Instagram, or you need to do more Facebook, then spend more time on that and prioritize a block of time. And you meet that timeline. Okay, this is how specific you need to be. So when you leave work and you've prioritized these things, you do that. You don't go and lollygate and do nothing for like 2-3 hours and then finally start around 8-9 o'clock and work till 11 and then go, oh, well, I got to get up at 6 a.m. so I can go to work at 7. And what you'll find as you're smashing more goals and you're achieving everything you want to be achieving through these priorities you've set, they will start to morph and become these other priorities that start to bring a flow as cash flow comes in. And then they're going to work in line such that you start understanding how your business should be running. Take some time, really think about how you're setting up your priorities, because not everything is a priority. And what you'll find as you block out time for each thing and not worry about everything, that during that time you're doing those things and that block of time you set, priorities will be met. Your goals will start coming together as you smash one after the next, and success will start shaping. Focus will come. You will be feeling 100% more focused. And of course, don't forget that your life purpose, that mission you have, relates to the set of priorities you set. So when you're looking at the big picture, always remember the things that we're doing that we need to do are temporarily there so we can get to those main big ideas that we have in our heads of what we need to achieve. Comment below. Let me know what are the things you've been spending time on that you shouldn't be spending time on, the priorities that you should have that you haven't been able to really align with, and of course, like and subscribe.
Snow